Hey everyone, Rick here, and folks, we have quite the package today. This is from Dice Game Depot. Now, you probably know, I think I've said it in my Q&As and stuff before, that I'm in Bellevue, Nebraska. Well, not long ago, maybe about a year or so ago, I found this website called Dice Game Depot. They have just all kinds of crazy dice and stuff, but they are in Lincoln, Nebraska, just a short drive away. Folks, we have a lot of dice in here. Holy cow, now a lot of these are going to be the Chessex Dice. And they actually split my order into 2 shipments. They were waiting on a couple things, so there will be another package. The other package is going to be a lot smaller than this, though, so I probably won't open it on cam. But I definitely wanted to at least open this one because, my gosh, get ready for all these dice. A lot of these are not going to necessarily be all that exciting color patterns. Some of these are. I mean, holy cow, look at this. I didn't even realize that the blue portion of these dice had that kind of glitter metallic look to them. What is this? Black Starlight with the red pips. Doesn't that show up on camera fantastically? But then we also have these frosted blue ones. I have some lighter blue frosted ones that I absolutely love. These are called Caribbean Blue with white pips. And then these I thought were cool, black and gray with green pips. Kind of like a cyborg or a Necron kind of color scheme. I picked up several sets of these, which are also Chessex. They're not in the little cases, though. It looks like they're just in baggies. But these are the dark gray and copper. And I'll go over exactly why I picked up multiples of the same set also in just a second. Here's another set. Oh my gosh, apparently these are not in a little case like this either. Not that they absolutely had to be, because, you know, sometimes I take them out of here and split them up anyway. But it's kind of interesting, because now I can't remember without checking the invoice what the actual name of this color scheme was. And then we also have several sets of these, just green and white. So we have these green and white. We have these red and white Polyhedral Die Sets. We have these blue Polyhedral Die Sets. And actually, there's not a whole lot left in this box. So maybe I will also unbox my other thing when it gets here and add that clip to the end of this clip, because this was actually shorter than I expected. So we have 4 of these gray and coppers, and then 4 of each of those green and gray and all that stuff, and blue and whatnot. So I'm just going to look at this invoice sheet, because we still have a lot more stuff to go. So here's what we're still expecting. So we still need a transparent Polyhedral die set for Desert Topaz. It's kind of a brown scheme for those. And then all this other fun stuff is what I'm actually really excited about. These Scrying Stones, these DM scenario dice. So if you're coming up with a quest or something, or, you know, a message board posting in the town, roll these dice and it'll come up with something for you. 4 of these 9-inch folding dice trays I'm excited about. These black bordered card sleeves. Peacekeeper board game storage bowls. So it's a 6-pack of just, you know, like token bowls. You know, I love those little token dishes and stuff. And also this deck box, which unfortunately they're out of the Commander's Cash version as listed here. So it's just going to be a yellow one. So it looks like most of the non-die stuff is still to come. So I'll probably do another video on that when it does get here. But so far, this is what we have. I picked up 4 sets of these 12mm dice in just different cool, unique colors. And then 4 of these in 4 different colors. There's a 5th one on the way. It's the one that's more brown. So why did I do this? Well, if you remember back to Caverns of Undeath, which I've now taken this mechanism and I've included it in Dicey Depths Adventures. Prior to going on a quest, you can harvest. You can do odd jobs around town to earn a little bit of money so you can purchase better equipment and items before you go delving, and you do this every turn. So there's 5 different things you can do. You can go fishing, you can go hunting, you can farm crops, you can mine iron, and you can chop wood. And the brown wooden dice are the ones we're still waiting on. So why polyhedral die sets? Because your skill level increases every time you're successful at doing one of these tasks. So when you're fishing, you're going to start out with a D20. You have 30 seconds to roll as many 20s as you can. Every 20 you roll is a success and a fish you caught. Then you can sell the fish later in the turn for whatever the market value ends up being. Or hold on to them if you have a house or somewhere to keep them over time. Meat is the same way. You'll start out with a D20. Every time you roll a 20, that is 1 meat you earn. There may be turns where you just simply do not catch any fish in the 30 seconds. But if you are successful at least once, the next time you attempt fishing or hunting or farming, you have leveled up. So then the next time you try it, you'll roll a D12. See as many 12s as you can get in 30 seconds. Then a D10, as many 10s as you can get in 30 seconds. As long as you are successful at least once, your skill in that trade increases. And the die gets lower on the polyhedral die scale, so that eventually you're rolling a D4. And, see how many 4s you can roll in 30 seconds. And that's why we have Dicey Depths Adventures can play up to 4 players. So each of them will have their polyhedral die sets in each of the 5 different trade skill colors. So that's why I bought all these freaking dice. Plus, I just love dice. Anyway, so that's that. So we have, and of course, Dicey Depths needs D6 and handfuls of D6 at times. So I just got some new colors. And then those are the trade skill dice, and this is what we have. So we actually still have quite a bit more stuff to come. Can't wait for the rest of that to come. And I think I just got the shipping notification for that today. So, or yesterday, I think it was today. So it should be a few more days. But then I'll just add that clip to the tail end of this. So I'm not going to say until next time, because stick around. We'll take a look at what I got in box number 2. All right, folks, and a couple days later, here we are. Let's go ahead and crack open box number 2 of this Dice Game Depot order. Back it up here. And I'm super excited because, honestly, as cool as all of those dice were, just because, by default, dice are freaking awesome, this package contains many more cool things than just dice. So there still should be some dice in here, but oh my gosh, here we go. All right, let's take a peek. So I picked up a set of, let's zoom in, 6 of these little dishes. That's kind of cool because they have the Peacekeeper Games logo on there, but they're nice little token bowls or places where you can hold dice. They're that kind of, I don't know, what is it? Like a plasticky, silicone-y feel to them. All right, so next we have these Desert Topaz polyhedral dice from Wiz Dice. Now these were the brownest dice I could find on the website. I may still go hunting for just a plain brown Chessex polyhedral dice set, but these look pretty brown. It's the fact that they're transparent that bothers me a little bit, because these are going to be for my wood cutting resource dice. So we have all these other dice, a gray for mining, green for crops, red for hunting representing meat, and blue for fishing representing fish. And then I've also now picked up 4 of these brown polyhedral dice sets for the wood cutting skill, but and here's the other 2. I don't know if I'm going to be satisfied settling on those, or if I'm going to look for something more just, plain Jane like these are, because these are a little fancy. But anyways, also just one of these big old chunky deck boxes to hold all of my new Dicey Depths Adventures item cards. Now this I'm super excited about. The Scrying Stones. These are big old chunky polyhedral dice But they're going to give you this kind of quest generation system where apparently there's a D8 for dungeon, weather, terrain, treasure, and races, jobs, quirks. And then there's a manifest in here that'll explain what each side of the die means. So yeah, you know, what's going on here? Roll some dice. And that's super easy, especially when you have, you know, exactly what a quest entails and how to resolve it already figured out. And then all you're looking for then is the fluff, the backstory. And so something like this, instead of trying to come up with something on the top of your head, which is fun. A lot of the times I just impulse it or improvise it, but just having some dice and rolling it to randomly generate some of those quests, I think is pretty sweet. So I'm excited to pop that open. And then I picked up 4 of these dice trays from Wiz Dice, and they're the ones just with the snaps. Now these I think are a little bit smaller than the ones that I already have, which is fine. Smaller or around the same size. I'll have to look because these actually are kind of big. But they just have the snaps in the corners, and then that soft playing surface with kind of a neat little decoration, as you can see there, how it'll look when they're snapped together. 4 of those, all in the same color, 1 per player if they wanted to roll their own dice next to each other. And I think, oh, we have one more thing here. Pack of these card sleeves. I have unbelievably large amounts of sleeves, but these have a black border around the edge, which I think is really cool. I think could help if you have cards with not the best looking borders. And my idea here is I created that deck of Dicey Depths item cards where I just printed out the front and back on paper and taped it to an old trading card. And so, of course, the edges around there don't look the best. And that honestly doesn't really matter for my game purposes, but I think it might make it look nicer if those like kind of messy edges were masked by this black border on these sleeves. So I'd never seen sleeves like these before with a border around them, so I thought that might be kind of handy. So there should be 100 of those in there. And that is it. So here's just an overall look at everything we got in this haul. Overall, I'm pretty happy. A couple things I was not the happiest about was the fact that these did not come in the actual plastic cases. Not that that matters too much to me. In fact, I think I do have some other plastic cases, and actually I don't intend to store these dice in these little cases anyway. But it kind of, I don't know if these were discounted because they didn't come with plastic cases, because Chessex actually sells these plastic cases as figure boxes separately, so they do have some value to them. So I would think a dice set like this without the case would be less expensive, so I don't know if that was calculated into the price of these dice already. I don't remember anything on the website saying these sets didn't come with these plastic cases. Also, same with this. And this should be, I believe all 4 of these were Chessex sets, so, and this one didn't even have the little label, let alone its case. And just some inventory things on the website, things they were out of stock on that, you know, wasn't reflected on the website. I purchased a different deck box that was much cooler looking than this just plain yellow one. But, so they contacted me and I swapped it out for this one. But yeah, just a couple little things that was kind of annoying and delayed the order a few extra days beyond what I was anticipating. But overall, I'm just glad that everything got here in one piece. And until next time, folks, I thank you so much for watching, and until next time.